What's going on, people? I just had to post that picture of the ingredients I got. That's a very reputable store. Those people always have the top of the shelf stuff, and they always get the top of the shelf name brand because you got to be careful where you get your items from because sometimes they can give you genetically modified sea moss, which, unfortunately, which is still good for you. It's still good, but it doesn't hold the same power as organic, original Irish sea moss. You know what I'm saying? That you get straight from the Atlantic Ocean. Um, I got two types right here. I got one from St. Lucia. The one from St. Lucia is pretty good. It's usually my mix. But I'm trying something different. They got the rare green one that I decided to try this time. I say, you know what? Let me try this time. This is it right here. This is from St. Lucia. And they dry it out real good so the shelf life is for it could last on the shelf for a long period of time because they dry it out really good. And then I got this one right here, which is and this is all natural wild harvest, and this is sea moss too. This is the green one. This is a red green, like a red green color, sea moss. You know, it's pretty good from what I'm hearing. So I say, you know what, I'm gonna try something different because I'm always trying to be innovative when I'm making my sea moss and stuff like that. My health improved significantly since I've been using sea moss. I've been knew how to make it because I always was into like health and nutrition, but I'm so lazy. I like to eat McDonald's and do all the wrong things. But now because of COVID and just in general, I want to live long. And I want people around me to live long and I want to educate people for whatever knowledge I have and whatever information you have, we can compare notes. I'm always open to things. I'm not a doctor. So if anything I tell you to do on this, I just want you to consult with your physician before making, because I don't know everything ain't a one size fit all. Sometimes you got people that have certain circumstances, such as they on medications, and don't get me wrong, CMOS. If you go CMOS for a certain amount of time, I'll give it 6 months. Any problems you have, it will reverse your issues. So far, a lot of my issues have been reversed. I've been on for the past 3 months. I haven't said anything, and I'm just letting you guys know now. Another thing I got too, my good old metabolic B12. I got the B12 in this form like this. Is like a raw form. I love B12 in a raw form. It's perfect. I got that. And I also got black seed oil. This is extracted. This is like in a raw. This is like raw extracted. You know, these people, they scientists. Like where I went, they also they're also an MD. Like the store that I went to, they don't do no deliveries online because they make so much money in the hood. He's an actual MD. He works at a hospital, but he also got a holistic practice in which he promotes holistic measures for health. So this is his store that I went to, and I knew him for years. I was his mailman for years, but now I got the opportunity to go to the store and see how it looks. And I gotta say, it's a lot of good stuff in there. Because I had another guy that I used to get my CMOS from, but he had some issues that I'm not gonna put on Facebook. So I had to put out there. Peace, brother. How you doing, my boy? My boy Red Dot. That's my homie right there. Yeah. So I got black seed oil. Now let me explain. I'm explaining to you, but I'm also gonna do a video on a later date showing you how to make Irish sea moss yourself. You don't have to buy from nobody. You can buy the ingredients and you can actually make it yourself. It's a very simple and it's a very easy process. The reason why I say it's good to make it yourself instead of you buying it from somebody because you don't know the shelf life. Like for example, if somebody make Irish sea moss and they had it in their refrigerator for a couple of days and then they get an order, now they ship it out, you buy it from them and it already is already only 3 weeks good because Irish sea moss on average only lasts for anywhere from 4 to 5 weeks. 5 weeks is stretching it. 4 weeks is the most, at most. So once you make it, because right now, in this state, it's going to be just fine. Nothing's going to happen to it. It could sit here for months and nothing's going to happen because it's dried up to keep its nutrients. Now, what I do is, how I make my sea moss. I've been making batches for a minute and I haven't been showing it. I should have made a YouTube video a while ago, but I didn't. I'm doing it now because I see that my health has been improving significantly. So I just want to say that this sea moss is working and it made me want to go vegan. I'm a vegan, but that's a whole different story. Let's get back on the topic. Real simple way to make sea moss. Real simple. You get a bowl. You grab this. You grab this or you grab this one. It doesn't matter which one you grab. You grab it. You put it in a bowl. First, you got to clean it. You got to clean your sea moss first. Once you've done cleaning it, you put it in a bowl. I prefer a glass bowl as what I prefer, like a glass bowl. You put the sea moss in there, put some water in there, and I won't sell you. I'll ship it to you. I won't sell it. I'll make it, and that same day I'll overnight it through the post office to you. I wouldn't you don't have to buy from me. I'll just give it to you, brother. Now the method that I use, and my method is way more different than most people's method, but I think I'm not sitting there saying I got the better way of doing it, but I'm providing way more contents of nutrients that other people ain't probably doing. So let me explain one thing I do. I put the sea moss in there, and I also get lime. It's always good to put lime in there because lime is very important, so you can get rid of that sea taste because it got that nasty sea taste and stuff like that. So you put the lime in there so it can neutralize the taste. So you get some limes, you cut it up, you squeeze it, try to get some of the juice out, and then you put the lime in a bowl along with the sea moss, and then you got water in it. You know, tap water, not tap water. Spring water. You put some spring water in there, and then you put a plastic over it and let it sit in there for 24 to 48 hours. My opinion, the longer it marinates, I think it's more potent. So my personal thing, I like to put it in there for 48 hours. So in 2 days, I come back to it. Now in 2 days is a very simple process from there. Now you just wringing it out. Now you put it into your blender. Now the other step that I didn't mention is I use bay leaf. Bay leaf has a lot of excellent health properties, and I like to use bay leaf tea. So I get the bay leaf tea. I brew the bay leaf tea, but what you don't want to do is put hot tea in a blender along with the Irish sea moss. You want it to be room temperature first because if you put it in there hot, it can kill some of the nutrients of the sea moss. The key is to have a high concentrated of ingredients of health properties that's going to be put into a gel form after we're done with the process. Now, another thing I do, little dabble, I had ran out, a little black seed oil. You know, everybody know the health properties of black seed oil. It's good for many things, and I utilize black seed oil in there as well. So what I do is I put a little dabble, a dabble of black seed oil in the blender. My next step is I put B12. Even though Irish sea moss actually has B12 in it, believe it or not. They don't really put it out there much, but after doing a lot of research, because if people say when they take sea moss, they get a little bit boost of energy. It has energy properties in there, but you also want to give a boost because it's also good for your bones and stuff. Because you especially if you're working out or if you're in a weight loss journey, you want to make sure your B12 vitamin levels is high. So I use a high dosage. This is 5,000. This is 5,000 right here. And I pour some of this in there. So now you got some of this inside there. You got the black seed oil in there. And then once you put the black seed oil in there, and you got the Irish sea moss in there. Now what you do is you put it in a blender. Now bay leaf tea. I don't have no more bay leaf tea. That's why I'm not gonna make this because I'm making this batch. I gotta make this batch because I'm running out of Irish sea moss right now. So I gotta make this batch for me. But what I'm going to do is I'll get some more bay leaf tea. So bay leaf tea got a lot of excellent health properties too. So what I do is I brew the tea, let it sit in the refrigerator after I brew the tea, and then I pour it into the blender. Once it's room temperature or a little bit cold, I put it in the blender. Once I put it in the blender, if you're this is your blender. And this right here is your Irish sea moss. You don't want the water to come past it. You want it to come almost past it, like the shoulder length, shoulder section. You want it to come up to the shoulder. And then when you blend it, you're going to... First of all, it's funny. I actually missed a step. When you put this in the refrigerator for 48 hours, this is going to expand. It expands. Like, it looks like a little bit. But once you put it in there, it's going to expand and it's going to get much bigger. And once it gets much bigger, now you're going to have a lot more of the sea moss. So what you do is after all the ingredients that I just mentioned is in the blender, you blend it. Now it all depends on how you want it. Some people like to have their sea moss a little gel lumpy, or some people like to have their sea moss um, gel liquid, like liquidy gel. So you could blend it to your liking. And then once you're done, you should use a mason jar. I always recommend using a mason jar because mason jar, especially with the UV light protection on it, so the sun, the ultraviolet rays can't penetrate it so much and try to take out some of the nutrients out the bottle. Even though that you're putting it in the refrigerator, you still want to have like a mason jar that's dark, like a dark UV light protection, so it doesn't mess up the nutrients. Now, the things that I put in there, what makes my sea moss most, I think, better than most, or probably all, is that a lot of people with their sea moss, they just use water. They use spring water and they blend it and that's it. No, I want to be as healthy as possible, so I get bay leaf. You can use any type of tea that you think is good, but I use bay leaf tea, natural bay leaf tea. I brew it from scratch, and then I let it go hit room temperature, and I throw it in there along with the black seed oil, along with the B12, and then with the sea moss that I mentioned before. And now when I blend it in there, it gets nice and cookie, it gets perfect. And then when you take it, you feel refreshed, like it give you a refreshing feeling. And how you could use it is you could put it in your food. I recommend people put it in their food, put it in your smoothies. Like me, I like protein shakes because I don't really eat much during the day when I'm working. So get yourself a protein shake if that's what you like. Throw a little bit, dabble in a protein shake. All you need is like a tablespoon, maybe 2 tablespoons if you really want to get a full concentration of nutrients. And the good thing is you got B12 in there, black seed, bay leaf, and yo, it's gonna be crazy. Yo, I'm telling you, man, I feel lightning sometimes. Like I've never been thinking so clear in my life since I've been doing this process, and I just got better over time. When I first started making Irish sea moss, I was just making it the basic way, like everybody else do, just using spring water, just grabbing the Irish sea moss, let it sit for a couple of days, throw it in there, and yada yada yada. So now I add more components to it. Now, one thing I'm gonna tell you never to do is put fruits in your Irish sea moss. If you see anybody that's using fruits in the Irish sea moss, they don't know what they're doing. They don't understand. You're messing. It's not that you're messing up the integrity of the Irish sea moss. You're messing up the shelf life because remember, fruits don't last long. So think about if you put in your sea moss. Think about it. Elderberry is good. Elderberry actually lasts for a long time, and elderberry doesn't mess with it. So I see some people use elderberry and sea moss. You could do that. There's nothing wrong with that. Elderberry is good because elderberry helps clean your cells and get rid of inflammation. So that's what elderberry does, and I think it's pretty good. So you could definitely use elderberry if that's your choice. Me personally, I try to make it flavorless as possible because I know that I'm putting it in my food. Like I had a vegan diet now. Like I just had spaghetti and meatballs, but I'm talking about everything plant based. I ain't gonna lie to you. I don't know too much about the Beyond, and I gotta make sure that it's healthy. But the Beyond, what is it? The meatballs that my fiance made. Oh my God, they hit the spot. They was good. And then I already had the plant-based noodles. Not regular noodles, not organic noodles. I'm talking about plant-based. Strictly from plant. You know what I'm saying? Because you want to have the most healthiest plate possible. So I had that, and I had plant-based what is it? The sauce. And then I had the meatballs. It was awesome, man. I couldn't finish a plate, but it was good. So I'm gonna bring some to work tomorrow. So that was experiment because I just went food shopping yesterday. So, but back to this health thing, man. It's 2021. We all should be focused on our health right now, especially with something like COVID-19. And I have a strong belief. Because I haven't had colds, I haven't been sick, I've been feeling great and more vibrant. It took time because it's not like it's gonna happen overnight. But I promise you, in a week you're gonna see, not even a week, in a matter of a few days, you're gonna see a difference. You're gonna see a difference in your movement, your energy, and remember, it's all about promoting your mental health. So if you eat right, it also affects your mental health and it makes you a better person. So back to this. This is from St. Lucia. I just want to get back on it. This is my favorite right here. But the next time around, I'm going to make this one right here. I never had this one before, but everybody tell me it's pretty good. The doctor that I went to, he said it's pretty good, so I'm going to use it. And remind you, the store that I get this from is a doctor. He's a regular MD. He's not no, he's a holistic doctor, but he's also an MD at the same time. So it's awesome, you know, it's awesome. And because he gets so much business, he doesn't do no online orders, none of that stuff. Everything is, you got to come in the store. It's in the Bronx, it's in the hood. But it's funny because how dirty Bronx is. His store is clean as hell. As soon as you walk in, you're like, damn, it's clean. You know it's somebody from the islands, from the Caribbeans. But this right here, the Black Seed Oil, this is some good stuff right here. I personally can contest that this particular brand is awesome because it really helped me out a lot. So, and it also help you curb. If you have a Black Seed oil is also good for curbing your appetite. You know, like people use apple cider vinegar sometimes, and if you're using black seed oil, there's no reason to use fish oil. Fish oil is not better than black seed oil. I'm going to give you a quick little brief history about black seed oil that I thought was kind of remarkable when I was doing research. When they dig into King Tut, remember in Egypt, when they dig into King Tut's tomb, they found this in there. Not this particular bottle, but they found black seed oil in there. So that lets you know, even in ancient times, they knew about health nutrients and stuff like that. So now it's our time to get to become more natural with the foods we eat, so we can have better thinking process. Everything goes together. So I'm gonna let you guys go. I didn't want to make this video so long, but stay tuned. I'll say in a few days because right now I'm working, so I might be a little tired when I come home. I work a lot of hours. On the weekend, I'm gonna make a video step by step, on how to make Irish sea moss the black love way, or just in general make Irish sea moss, and I'm gonna show you how you can make certain variations of it, like so many tricks. Because black seed oil and Irish sea moss is not the only thing that's like this that's very healthy. It's a lot of other ones out there, but we'll get into that on another video. So I'm gonna let you guys go. Peace. I love you, and take it easy.